David Hale, how serious do you think these economic shudders are around the world? Are we looking at global financial crisis Mark II?
No, we're not. What we're looking at is really a very, very divergent global economy. We've had, over the last 2 years, a moderate recovery in the US economy, but very subdued by historical standards. We've got very strong growth in the emerging market countries, 9 or 10% growth in China, 8% in India, 6-7% in Brazil, and many of the East Asian countries. So emerging markets have come out of this downturn 2 years ago in very healthy shape. They're benefiting from growth, global trade expanding, as well as strong gains in domestic demand. The truly mixed economy is Western Europe. We've had very robust growth in Germany, Sweden, Holland, on the back of global trade, and especially demand for products in emerging market countries like China. But Southern Europe, Greece, Portugal, in a very severe recession, Italy basically flat. So it's really a very diverse economy. It will not set the stage for a repeat of what happened in the autumn of 2008, when we had a major bank failure on Wall Street, set the stage for a global credit crunch that drove every economy, except Australia, into a major recession.
You mentioned the strength of the emerging markets. Is what we're seeing likely to have any negative impact on that, particularly on China?
Actually, the recent turmoil in financial markets has set the stage for quite a major decline in commodity prices. Most of all oil, but also some weakness in base metal prices and agricultural prices. And this will probably help over the next few months to lower the inflation rates in the emerging market countries, like India, like China, like Brazil, which have spent the last several months raising interest rates to try and curb inflation. So if this helps to bring inflation under control more quickly, it will instead be a positive for economic growth in many emerging market countries, not a negative. The danger will come if the US unexpectedly slides into a recession. And if the US had a recession, that would clearly hurt exports from China, Latin America, and other East Asian countries.
The ratings agency Standard & Poor's lost a lot of credibility during the past few years. It was giving AAA ratings to toxic mortgage-based assets. It gave Lehman Brothers a AAA rating right up until the month of its collapse. Given that, why do people take its actions so seriously?
Well, it's one of the three major rating agencies, along with Moody's and Fitch. And because it has been a prominent rating agency for many years, it naturally gets the attention of the financial markets. But partly for the reason you just mentioned, all the rating agencies now are somewhat suspect. There's not the same confidence in them you would have had 5 or 10 years ago. And the fact that S&P acted alone, without the support of the other agencies, has again somewhat diluted the impact of what they did.
If we can return to Europe, as you mentioned earlier, some countries are performing well and some countries are performing absolutely terribly. How much pressure is that putting on the monetary union?
It's putting a great deal of pressure on the monetary union. And what's happened here in the last year is that we've had to have rescue packages for Greece, then Ireland, then Portugal, and today an intervention by the European Central Bank in the bond markets of Italy and Spain to lower their bond yields. And what drove these rescue packages was the belief that if we didn't give them emergency financial assistance, there was a risk they might be forced to leave the European Monetary Union and revert to having their own currencies. And Germany and France are very determined to protect the European Monetary Union. They don't want to see a return to the Europe of 12 or 13 years ago, when every nation state had its own currency, with the possibility of great volatility in those currencies.
David Hale, thank you.